Hello, Red Wing fans. Welcome back. Excuse me, man. Back a day, man. Don't do it. Hey, so anyway, let me get some lighting here. Get some better lighting. It should be a little better there. No shadows. Okay. Back a little bit. Okay. Cool. Hey, yeah. Welcome back, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, that is. So if you can see, I'm wearing the coveted 8273s. Kangatans. Some people like them. Some people don't. They're actually pretty interesting because they're a nice dark olive green or dark. I don't know what green it is. It's dark. Almost look black in certain lights. And in the sun, it's a little more, but it's not the bright green. It's not the, lime green. It's not fluorescent green, obviously, but they're pretty classy. It's the Kangatan green. So Kangatan is, of course, the same Ted Williams 888s, so they're nice. But I'm not here to show that. What I have here is, check these out. These are interesting. They just came in the mail. Got this from a guy on eBay. He gave me a good deal. So pretty interesting. They are copper. Let's see, what is it? It is not the copper. I'm sorry. It is the concrete rough and tough, which is basically like copper rough and tough, but it's kind of oily, but it's a slate, dark, almost black, but slate is not quite not black. It's supposed to be dark gray, but I guess when you condition them up, they get real dark. So these almost look black. I mean, it's almost like a kind of like a what is that? I can't think of the name. Jeez, like the prairie black. It's kind of matte finish, almost, it tilts more on the gray, like a light black, if they could call that light black. But again, when these first started out, I think they were probably more gray, like the slate gray. So anyway, yeah, interesting. Let me talk a little bit about these. These are kind of strange. I never really, I haven't, they didn't show up in my feeds. But so what this was is, it's kind of an oddity. And I'll explain. So I don't know if you can see this, but I'll move it a little closer. So this one has the embossing on it. It has the Red Wing embossing, which I'm not, I don't care if it does or not. It's just kind of cool. But then this one does not. I don't know if you can tell. Try to show angles. But the reason why is, and I'll start off with the one that is called the 2975. So if you look up 2975. I did the Google, and it actually turned out to be kind of like a chocolate rough and tough, or even tilting more towards the copper rough and tough. So I didn't even notice this. the seller, he showed the tags, and he showed both tags. And strangely enough, I didn't even notice. I didn't bother to look at the second tag. I just figured, I don't know why I just didn't. And they're two different tags. And they're different manufacturing dates. So 2989, I didn't know what to call these. But when I look up 2989, it is the slate rough and tough, or I guess slate rough and tough. But if you look at this one looks more towards copper or brown. So I think, I don't know, factory, what are they doing? They're crazy. They obviously, they obviously built these things. And the manufacture date, this is February 2012 for the 2975, and it says an E in front of it. So I don't know if that's like an E. I'm not sure if the E is like some kind of, maybe like it's what is it? What do you call that? A prototype. Maybe it's a prototype. I don't know. And then this one, of course, when you look at 2989, it's 11, which is, I know it's backwards, but I don't know, I'm not even showing you. It's backwards. It's totally, it's my camera shooting backwards. But it is a November date. So these are made in February, November, and I don't know how I didn't really ask the buyer how he got them, but they basically, so think about it. What's happening here is the factory, I can't imagine them putting them together, but I guess when they got to the showroom, whichever showroom he got them from, I'm guessing the headquarters, Red Wing basement, I guess they call it, then it must have been that they, either had one or the other, or they got mixed up. Oh, you know what? Probably, yeah, I'm just guessing. They must have they had both pairs, and then somebody, maybe a customer, mixed them up, crossed them over, so they, they were both in the showroom, I guess, probably in the, boxes, and then they were same, different models, obviously, but same size, but same type of leather, and whoever, tried them on, they must have got them mixed up, or maybe the salesperson did. So no big deal, because they look identical. They almost, they look like they were cut from the same cow. They were dyed at the same time, but, they're really, it's negligible. I couldn't even tell. So, anyway, got a pair of 9s, a little bit big. I have to wear my inserts in there, which is fine. But I should stick with 8.5s, honestly. Most, like 99% of the time, the 8.5s fit me way better. And I'm a 9D, I think you guys know that. I'm a 9D in all other boots. I've tried 8.5s in mock toes, and they're just a little too small and short. And then I've gotten E's, all that they weren't, they were wide enough, but they just were a little bit short. I'm not used to my toes being that close to the front. So I'm actually in, my my Brannock device tells me that I'm an 8.5E, but if I wear these Red Wings for somehow, it just feels better with a 9D. 9D just feels better. 9E is too big and floppy. So I'm, for Red Wing, 9D works for me, even though my Brannock says 8.5E. So I don't have to size down at all. If I went to an 8, I've had 8Ds and they're way too small, even if I stretch the heck out of them. So these are 9s, and they'll be fine with the Birkenstock insert. I think I don't have it with me, but I put my foot in just to see, because sometimes sometimes I can wear a lot of these engineers without the insert. I can wear them just straight up. Like, well, you know what it turns out, I think? All the traction tread models, all these traction tread models, they require that I use the Birkenstock insert, even though if they're 9s or even 8.5s. These are 9s. These are copper rough and tough. These are the 2971s. And I need it feels better with the insert in it. And then this one feels better also. This is the 2977. That feels better. And the Coppersmiths, which is 8123s, which are, and it's got a different sole, obviously. It's got the nitrile with these huge heels. These heels are just gigantic. They're so wide. I would say a 1/4 inch more, and it's just, they're real stable and cool. I like them a lot, and man, there's just too many, right? But then all these ones on whatever last this is, I don't even know if it must be a different last. But ones with the Woodsman heels, these are the 8268s. Yeah, 8268s. I still can't memorize all these. And then I have the 2966s. This is almost another compilation video, but they're all, with the Woodsman heel, and they don't require a insert except for these 9s. These are 9s, so a little too big. But all the 8.5s, they feel great without an insert. 8254s, is that what these are? Yeah, 8254s, no insert. Okay, and of course the 8273s I'm wearing Kangadans. They don't need inserts. They feel good as is. But they're all 8.5s for the most part, except for the 8268s or 9s, a little too big. So I found out 9s are, I don't know why I got these. I really did need to get these, obviously. I could have just, but I've never seen them. I don't see 8.5s too often, obviously. So pretty cool, it's the Slate Rough and Tough. And it's got a cool, got the buckle, the embossed buckle, which doesn't matter to me, honestly, but yeah, pretty amazing. One of my friends who saw pictures, he said it looked like one was lighter than the other, but negligible. I can't tell. There might be some fading, whatever. Copper Rough and Tough. Any of the Rough and Tough oiled up ones are going to change color no matter what. So, do I have a pair of boots that are exactly identical left and right? Rarely. They have different scuffs. They break in differently, and they have different creases and whatnot. They wear out different. Yeah, you'd be lucky if you got a pair of boots that had the same piece of leather that were side by side when it was cut. So it's no big deal. I don't care. No one sees that. Who can tell? If they can tell, right? I don't care. I don't condition any of my boots. I have not conditioned any of these boots. Might have done my Kangatans a long time ago with Meltonian, the green cream. I might have done that. I don't even remember. I just don't mess with it. You know, I like patina. I like just them to be boots, you know, be worn. No, I'm not saying that, you know, the guys who like to condition them, make them look like they're brand new all the time. That's fine, you know, that's everyone's style. I did actually, okay, I confess, I did condition a pair of 212 Oxfords. It was the Oxblood Mesa Oxbloods, and I think I explained that you know, I wore them to like one of my to a funeral once, and yeah, so I wanted them to not be all scuffed up. But now I regret it because they had some really nice patina. I mean, they were, yeah, just nicely, I call it scuffed, and you know, abraded, I guess. You know, there's abrasions on it. It just looked cool. They look. I like. You know, I like beat up patina Red Wings. But now they don't. They look like brand new. Well, not brand new, but they're all nice and dressy. But I did it for, you know, just to not, so I didn't wear some crappy shoes to a funeral. But anyway, sorry about my voice. I'm just losing my voice a little bit. But anyway, yeah, so I thought I'd show you these. So I think they're supposed to be, they were probably issued finally at 2989. That was really what the model should have been. And I guess maybe these 2975s with the E, they must have been like, maybe they were, what is it called? What did I just say? I called it, what is that called when they put out a, you know, like a practice model? It's just stupid. I'm losing my vocabulary. Yeah, so, yeah. Anyway, so I just thought I'd show you guys this. Thanks for stopping by. This is kind of a long video, 11.5 minutes, but anyway. So, another pair. I do the compilation, but, you know, I already did the compilation. And here's my favorite so far. I'll just pull these babies out. 2965s. I wear these a lot. I love them. They're just so cool. They're just little shorties, you know. They're not as bulky. Not quite as hot, you know. They're just, you know, there's not a huge temperature difference because down below it's still going to be, you know, there's not much ventilation down there. But no inserts, 8.5s. Heels were totally like angled, like almost down to the brown part, like completely gone. And I used shoe goo, and I built them up so they're not quite as slanted. You know, they're starting to wear. They'll probably work their way back to that, but I'm gonna have to build them up even higher to really even it out, because the insides are fine. This is still nice and thick. The edges are just, they're ground down. The guy who had them before, man, he wore the crap out of them. But you know, I got a decent price on them, so I didn't care. But shoe goo saves it. I might put some heel taps in there. And believe it or not, I got some black shoe goo, which just kind of makes it not so, you know, it's not the clear one. And I actually took an old bicycle inner tube and I chopped up the leather, the rubber, and I kind of mixed in, so I made like a nitrile cork, nitrile rubber, you know, composite to try and make it not a little more abrasive and distant, you know, resistant, because you know bicycle tires, if you know the tubes, they're pretty abrasive resistant. You know, like I've scuffed them up when you change flats on a bike, and it doesn't, like, you know, it doesn't wear down much. It's got a good, nice rubber compound that resists abrasion. So I thought maybe I could mix that in there, you know, make it last a little longer. But we'll see. It's wearing, obviously, but you know, we'll find out. And eventually, when it wears back down again, I think I'll chop up the rubber, or even make it, because I was using a pair of scissors and just making little, like 2mm blocks or little, you know, slivers. And I kind of mixed it in, but I didn't mix it in very well. I kind of layered it, you know. I put down a layer, and then I put some of the inner tube in there, and then I put another layer on it, so it's not really mixed very well. So next time I'll put it on a piece of like plastic and mix it up and then put it on. But if you know about the shoe goo, it sets up real fast. I mean, probably in like 30 seconds to a minute, it starts to like firm up, and you really can't manipulate it much. Once it hits the air, it starts to lose its elasticity and its runniness, if I could say that. So when you use shoe goo, you really got to just like set it in real quick, and then it just starts, you know, it starts to the film starts to go over the top of it, and it starts to take shape. So if you ever plan to do that, I should do a video on it, but it takes kind of a long time, and it's kind of meticulous. So anyway, thanks for stopping by.